Forward.
I start investigating
regular. Memories.
We want to thank.
Hello and welcome. My name is Ruth Guajardo.
Mars needs more women to keep peace, to teach peace, to be peace. Mars needs more women. Mars needs more women. Two-spirit, dance free. Little ones sing delightfully. Mars needs more women. There are no monarchs. There are no hummingbirds, no honeybees, so Mars needs more women. Mars needs more women to pass on traditions, storytelling, nourishing, building shelter, building trust, growing food, growing love. Mars needs more women.
Espíritu, gloria, lesbiana antepasada, memoria estrellada, guía cósmica. I tried to roll out of bed esta mañana, like the word Nepantla rolled off your tongue, like river rocks, like desert sand runs. Gloria, lesbiana antepasada, memoria estrellada, guía cósmica. I tried to roll out of bed esta mañana y vi a través the dry eyes de nuestros hermanas walking through the sun, hoping to escape their demise, racing towards a place to lay their head, to satisfy their undying sed, and a dance floor to kiss her girlfriend, Mercedes. Gloria lesbiana antepasada.
As a co-curator, we selected works that employ themes, tropes, symbols of outer space and the alien in order to explore and reimagine issues of race, gender, and sexuality. Some of the works are more literal or narrative, others are more abstract, but a more sort of general thread that connects all these works is opening up a kind of third space for imagining other kinds of futures, plural, in which we can live more equitably in regard to issues of race, gender, class, sexuality. This exhibit, while it includes Chicanas, Tejanas, Latinas, mainly who currently reside in Central and South Texas, we do have quite a few international artists, and so there's a sort of importance of grounding the outer space, and outer space and like sci-fi, which is always associated with kind of like the imaginative and being out there, but this art show is very much sort of grounded in the geography and history of San Antonio, Texas, and the Americas. Even the gallery, El Centro itself, is very much an important sort of site of cultural resistance and affirmation.
The title of the exhibit, Mars Needs More Women, is connected to my interest in space because Mars has the word mar, which is ocean, which is another interest of mine, and I believe that the ocean and the universe are connected. So a lot of my work is reflective of those themes. The last outer space dream that I had was where I was traveling through the ocean. I was with the plants and the animals. I was not traveling through, I was traveling with the life in the ocean. And then all of a sudden I was in the universe traveling through the stars. And so I do believe that there is a connection between the ocean and the universe. And because of these dreams that I have, I explore those themes through my work. And that is how I think that my work is related to the title of the exhibit.
My poem transcends gender into the future. It is a direct reflection of our importance as a gender, as women, to be part of this future, whether it be in Mars, outer space, with aliens, but definitely in our future. It is imperative that women be a part of it.
I have submitted 3 pieces. One is a woman, an indigenous woman holding the world, but it's of course in the space. And for me that it's called El Conocimiento de mis Astral de mis Madres, and that's for me that is like my ancestors asking the universe for help in thinking. And the other one is the Adios Pudding, and that's an indigenous woman and on Earth, and then we're shooting sending a rocket, and and Putin's in there, and that is just my way of expressing what's happening right now with the Ukraine, and as it's some solution of some kind, just get them out.
The alien in the future, when it's pertaining to gender, is really solidified in the seed pods that I have represented in my installation. Those seed pods then transform out into the viewer's space, showing that we've been here and we will be in the future, ultimately taking over the future as we've grown out into the space. In my works, We've Been Here and They Did Not Know We Were Seeds, is telling a new creation story, one in which we have been planted here and our alien presence is one that will transform and manifest itself into the future.
Exhibition, the project MASA, is extremely important in this moment. One is that, reclaiming our roots and our culture as Latinx and connecting with both, the past, the present, and the future, and looking in which way we could hopefully impact future generations. nationwide, but also at a global level, we are living in, constant state of fear and anxiety because of like we are afraid of being discriminated of who we are and what we have to bring to the world. And I think it's important that everybody, but especially young people, see that as an artist is extremely important. If anything, is vital to remember our roots as Latinx, as Latin Americans, as whatever you feel your roots are, and also how that connects.
I guess my art will be addressing the future. I think that right now we have a very uncertain future. The way that I work my art, I address a lot the situation of women and especially the situation of immigrants, because there's so much displacement going on in the world today because of climate change and the wars and everything. And so I address it by representing them and giving it a human side to it. It's just, nobody wants to leave their lands. We leave our lands because we are forced to.
The alien is like a common theme in the music that I create. As a society, as people of color, we have to navigate in various personalities, various identities. And so it almost feels like we have to pick sort of which passport to use, like code switch in different environments. And I think that's really important because, we have this society expectation of like, we need to be X, Y, Z, and also telling us that we don't fit in society.
I think the exhibition addresses a lot of relevant themes. Climate justice, just this critique of these billionaires trying to race towards space, right? And that being kind of the next thing. And Brownsville is already being colonized by SpaceX, right? So we're already seeing kind of a reflection of what, colonizing Mars would look like, right? There's already this like process of colonizing neighborhoods, right, in Brownsville. So I think it's important for folks to know what's happening on a local level, because it's a reflection on national issues and things that we need to work on nationally.
Project MASA, the exhibit, the project, it's incredibly important. There are so many Chicanx artists, Chicana, Chicano, right, however we want to identify personally, that are coming together in this exhibit. And for me, I really love how intergenerational it is. Each generation can keep kind of progressing on these ideas, right, of Chicanismo, Latinidad, on the cosmos, the earth, where we're coming from, what we're connecting to from the past. I use corn husks in my work, and I feel like that Project MASA, like there's a real connection there with the materiality and thinking about our origin stories and where we're coming from and how it's always been tied to the cosmos, and how now having that conversation will always be relevant. And so I think that it's timely and it's important, and just in a way that, especially during the pandemic, we all, I think, are finding more ways to connect and to ground ourselves and to think of this like greater picture, right, of our existence in the world. And I love how that's connected to this idea of like Chicanx futurisms and contemporary art.
My artwork relates to the theme of outer space and aliens. It's using the symbol of Santa Teresa to question this alien, Kulkulkan, who is also from a religion, to question that idea of, are you alien? But she is questioning it not as a saint, but as a woman. She's within a painting that is, the genre is still life, and I've done still lifes for many, many years. And I use still lifes as a way of symbolisms of what's going on in my culture or what's going on around me at that period of time, whether it's political or has to do with feminine ideas. And so this piece is dealing with that whole idea of Kulkulkan as the alien and Santa Teresa looking at him, questioning, you know, why are you here? Are you real?
So I don't think that I address gender and race directly. I see myself more like a world builder, which I think is important because traditionally in speculative fiction or science fiction, women weren't world builders. I see myself like a time traveler, going back and forth this like time-space continuum, remembering my parents' childhood, remembering my own childhood, even in a little bit of a different context, maybe more idyllic or nostalgic. And I can imagine the future. For example, these fantastical creatures or sometimes real creatures evolving to survive like the harsh border, you know, a SpaceX border, or, you know, climate change.
So a lot of the work that's displayed in this show is from Latinx artists, and, you know, specifically women and also people that are transgender and non-binary. So I think just coming from that scope, it's also really important to think about the fact that maybe using the term women is a little limiting, but it's more about like feminine identity and recognizing that. And so a lot of the work deals with thoughts about motherhood in kind of the cosmic world, and so that's where that idea of like space and alienation might come in. And alienation has, you know, multiple meanings in this work because it deals with border politics and kind of this idea of identity that has been changed and maybe taken out of context when talking about the border. The idea that people can be alien, that they aren't citizens and they shouldn't be recognized as people. So a lot of the work it deals with that, specifically Brandy Gonzalez's work deals with that idea of like alienation, but also the idea that we can grow and move on from that point. And gender, like I said, is touched base on a lot throughout, I would say, all works. I mean, I think there's not an instance where you can take a work of art and think about it outside of gender.
monarchs. There are no hummingbirds.